Dear students, welcome back to mathematics class. In this video, I am going to explain about remaining three properties of the determinants. So here property 4, if each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. So here, let I have a determinant delta is equals to 1, 3, 4, 0, minus 1, 2, 5, 3, 7. When I expanded this determinant along the R1, I got a value of 37. The value of the determinant is 37. Therefore, delta is equals to 37 when I expanded this determinant along R1. Okay. Now, when R1 is multiplied by some constant 2, so when you multiply this determinant with some constant 2, that is nothing but k. K is equals to 2 because in statement when each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. So like that I have taken here k is equals to 2. You can take here minus 2, 3, 5, 1 by 2, whatever it is. You take some constant here, that is a k. That is k is equals to 2. Okay. But here I multiplied this constant with R1. You can also multiply this constant with R2, R3 or C1, C2, C3. Okay. So that delta 1 is equals to, I am going to multiply this constant 2 with R1 with all the elements of the R1. So here 1, 3, 4, 2 into 1, 2 into 3, 2 into 4. So remaining elements of R1, R2 and R3 are same. 0, minus 1, 2, 5, 3, 7. 0, minus 1, 2, 5, 3, 7. Only we have to multiply the constant with the R1. Means you multiply that constant with either R1, R2, R3 or C1, C2, C3. When you expanded 2 into 1, 2, 2 into 3, 6, 2 into 4, 8. When you expanded this is delta 1. How the delta 1 is formed? When you multiplied the first row of the determinant delta with some constant 2, then you get a delta 1, that is a 2, 6, 8, 0, minus 1, 2, 5, 3, 7. When you expanded this delta 1, you get a 74. So this 74 is nothing but it is the multiple of a 2 into 37. That is 2 into 37. 37 is delta here. So that you can write 74 as a 2 into 37. Delta 1 is equals to 2 into 37. Here 2 is nothing but some constant k. And 37 is nothing but here it is a delta. So that delta 1 is equals to k into delta. That is why if each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by some constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. So this is property 4. Now some important notes here. You can take out any common factor from any one row or any one column. So according to this, see here, for example, I have a determinant here. Determinant delta is equals to AB a square C minus A B square minus B AC C square CD. This is a determinant. You can take A here common. A is common here because A exists throughout the row. So that if you taken A as common, here the remaining things are B, that is AC minus 1. But you cannot take B as common factor because b does not exist throughout the row because it only here b square minus b, but here there is no b, hence you cannot take b as common here. If you want to take the common, but that element should exist throughout the row. Here a exists throughout the row, so that I have taken here a. Like that, you can take any constant from any row, any one row or any one column. Here I can take here c from R3, but you can't take b from the second row because b does not exist throughout the row. So similarly, you can take any constant from any row or any column, but that element should be exist throughout the row or throughout the column. But here if you are going to take a common factor along a column, so that here b, but here b does not exist, hence you cannot take any common factor from c1. Similarly, here a exists, here a does not exist, hence you cannot take a as a common a from c2. But here c exists, but in second element there is no c. Like that, if you want to take any common factor from any row or column, that element should exist throughout the row or throughout the column. In that cases only you can take a common factor from any one row or any one column. Okay, so that this is the important note. And the second note is, if corresponding elements of any two rows or columns are proportional, then its value is 0. See here, I will explain this second note here with some example. Take example here. It is a determinant 102, 18, 36, 1, 3, 4, 17, 3, 6. So if you write the 102, 18, 36 with the multiple of 6, 6, 6. So here 6 is the constant, some constant. Okay, k. 6 17 is 102, 6 3 is 18, 6 6 is 36. So that here in R1 6 exists throughout the row, hence you can take as a common factor. But don't bother about other two rows, because here 6 is not exist. Because thing is, according to the note, you can take only 6 from any one row or any one column. Okay, so that only I have taken here 6 from R1 only. Like that, you can take any common factor from any row or any column if it exists throughout the column or a row. So that when you taken 6 as common factor, 17, 3, 6 are as it is. See here first row and third row means R1 and R3 are same, identical, are in proportion. See here, R1 and R3 are in a proportion. In such cases, the value of the determinant is 0. If corresponding element of any two rows or columns are proportional, then its value is 0. Here R1 and R3 are in proportion. When you take on 6 as common factor, here R1 and R3 are identical. So you already studied the property 3. According to that property, if any two rows or columns are identical, then its value is 0. So that here R1 and R3 are identical, hence its value is 0. That is 6 into 0, that is a 0. So that this is the note 1 and 2. Now moving towards the property 5. So according to the property 5, the statement, according to the statement here, if some or all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more determinants. So this is very simple. See here, let I have a determinant, that is a1 plus lambda 1, a2 plus lambda 2, a3 plus lambda 3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. So this is a determinant. Here in first row, the elements are the sum of a1 and lambda 1, like that. So we can write this determinant according to the statement. So you have to first write here a1, a2, a3, a1, a2, a3, and remaining elements of the second row and third row are same, b1 b2 b3 b1 b2 b3 c1 c2 c3 c1 c2 c3. So here plus, you have to write here plus here. After that you have to write lambda 1 lambda 2 lambda 3 of the another determinant, lambda 1 lambda 2 lambda 3, and b1 b2 b3 c1 c2 c3 as it is. So we can write here. Okay, this is how we can write the, if sum or all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more. Here if it is a1 plus lambda 1 plus alpha 1, so another determinant is also from plus alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha 3, and the remaining two rows are as it is. Okay, like that. This is property 5. It is very simple. And property 6, if to each element of any row or column of a determinant the equimultiples of corresponding elements of the other two row or column are added, then the value of the determinant remains the same. So when you consider the example here, according to the statement, let determinant delta is equals to a1 a2 a3 b1 b2 b3 c1 c2 c3. This is a given determinant. When you multiply any row or column with some constant k, and we add that constant multiply with any row or column to any row or column again. Say I multiply R3 with k c1 k c2 k c3. After multiplying the R3 with k, I added k c1 k c2 k c3 with R1 here, so that a1 plus k c1, because k c1 is formed by multiplying the k with the R3. So a1 plus k c1, a2 plus k c2, a3 plus k c3, and remaining two rows are same as it is. Here also you can multiply the k with R2, means k b1 k b2 k b3. You can add that constants multiply with all the elements of second row. You can add that equimultiples with the R1 or R3 or also c1 c2 c3, whatever it is. So but here I multiplied the k with R3 and added the equimultiples to R1 here. Just it is for example. You can do it in different ways, do it by yourself. Okay, only here I multiplied the constant k with R3 and added the equimultiples to R1, a1 k c1, a2 plus k c2, a3 plus k c3 as it is. So that this is delta 1. Delta 1 is how delta 1 is formed. When you multiply the k with any row or column, then add those equimultiples to any row or any column. This is delta 1. So a1, a2, a2, a3, a1, a2, a3 as it is, because property 5. So that if you here plus, you can write k c1, k c2, k c3, and remaining two rows are same as it is, as in case property 5. a1, a2, a3 as it is, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, 3. This is determined as it is, plus when you take k as common from R1, because according to the note you can take any constant from any row or any one column. Hence here k exists throughout the row. Hence you can take a k as a common factor here. After taking common factor k, here the remaining things are c1, c2, c3, c1, c2, c3, b1, b2, b3, b1, b2, b3, and c1, c2, 3. See here, according to property 3, here row 1 and row 3 are same, identical. Hence its value is 0. So that k into 0, because this is k0. It is nothing but it is a delta here, because it is a delta. So that delta plus k into 0, 0. Delta plus 0 is delta. Delta plus delta 0 is delta. Hence according to this property, if to each element of any row or column of a determinant the equimultiples of corresponding elements of the other row or column are added, then the value of the determinant remains the same. Here you multiplied the row 3 with k kc1, kc2, kc3. After multiplying the row R3 with the k, you added those equimultiples to the R1 here according to the statement, and you get, means even though after all these phenomenons the value of the determinant remains same. See, the value is always same as it is delta. Even though you multiplied the k with R3 and added the equimultiples to R1, after simplifying you get the same result, that is delta. It is, then the value of the determinant remains the same. There is no change in the value. So this is property 6. Thank you.